and welcome to the heart chakra and throat chakra sequence that I have for you today. I'm so excited about these two chakras and moving through them via this flow, because these two chakras, I say this about every chakra, but these two chakras are definitely really near and dear to my heart. Okay, but in all seriousness, the heart chakra is very important, of course, in with our ability to give love, but also with our ability to receive love, and most importantly, to receive our own love. So the main teaching of the heart chakra is that we deserve our own love and respect and sincerity, and that's something that can many times go by the wayside. A lot of times, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. We in society are kind of taught to, of course, like give to others and help others, which is amazing. But then sometimes along the road, we wind up forgetting about ourselves, and our self gets discounted while we're giving, and then there's nothing left for us. So the heart chakra kind of teaches us to come back in, give to ourselves, take care of ourselves, ask ourselves what we actually need, and be there for us so that we can in the future be there for our people and actually shine our true light and have energy to be our authentic self. So if we're not giving to ourselves, if we're not taking care of ourselves, we're not loving ourselves, taking time to know what's coming up for us, then our energy is going to be depleted and we're not going to be able to shine our authentic light forward. So that's basically the heart chakra. Very powerful place, and it also connects us with universal love. So, you know, a lot of the poses you'll notice, they're very like opening of the chest. And if you want to think when your chest is open, it really is kind of like a message that you're saying, like, I'm open to receiving love. You know, so often we want to give gifts, do this, just like I said, like do things for others. But it's difficult to receive something. You know, we say, oh no, you shouldn't have done that, or whatever, you know, what have you. Oh, I don't deserve that. But you do. You are deserving of love. You're a human being. You're a living creature. You deserve love. So this practice really teaches us to be open and receiving to all of the gifts. And it also reminds us of the beautiful practice of gratitude in our everyday life, which can remind us of how much love we already have. So when you're in these heart openers, and a lot of times they will be really exaggerated heart openers, but I'll have many variations. So no worries if you got some tight shoulders and a tight back. Definitely this teaches us to keep ourselves open so that we can receive, you know, the love from others around us, as well as the universal love from the universe, from source, from God, you know, your higher power that you feel connected to. So be open to that universal energy and ready to accept that love. All right, let's move into the throat chakra. We got a lot going on today. So the throat chakra and the heart chakra, in a yoga flow, they can kind of run together. A lot of the heart chakra, the chest openers, also kind of open up the throat area as well. So that's why I kind of put these two together. So the throat chakra is also a really beautiful chakra. It definitely, as well as the heart chakra, kind of comes back to ourself and reminds us that if we're not speaking our truth, if we're not projecting our authenticity and who we truly are and our values, if we're kind of like living a lie, and lying really is kind of like the nemesis of the throat chakra, then we're not standing in our truth and we're not showing up as who we're meant to be. And we're kind of missing out on our potential. So the throat chakra teaches us that if we're feeling unaligned with where we are, what we're doing, what we're saying, what we're telling others, come back in, just check in. Like, you don't have to judge what's coming up. Check in, say, like, what is actually coming up for me that I'm not standing in my authentic truth? Am I scared? Am I fearful? Am I like lacking love, just wanting to fit in, be accepted, whatever? You know, come back to that. So this flow will help you open up that throat chakra, help remind you that what you have to say is important. But then also, again, tied in with the heart chakra, you know, and as my grandma always said, if you have nothing nice to say, please do not say it at all, okay? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. So the throat chakra reminds us, in conjunction with the heart, that everything that comes out of our mouth should be, you know, having some sort of like loving energy behind it. Whether it's really, you know, kind of hardcore constructive criticism and you need to give someone some like actual constructive feedback. I don't want to say negative because all feedback is just feedback, but it needs to come from a place of love. So it's like, what are your intentions with the words that you're saying? Like, are your intentions to like hate or spread fear, anxiety, you know, hate or whatever? That's not aligned with, you know, being a universal being of this world. You know, we all share a universal collective energy. And until we all learn to respect and honor ourselves and each other, then we're going to continue to have human conflict. And we want to try to mitigate that within ourselves and then within our immediate world and then hopefully within the entire world. Alrighty guys, I hope you're ready to flow today. I'm so excited. So let's start off in either just a comfortable seated position, or you can come into your Balasana, your child's pose, and let's just ground down and feel the safety and support of the earth below us first. So in child's pose, you can have a bolster right under your chest to support you if that feels better, and a block under your head, or you can come all the way down to the earth with your big toes touching. Arms can be out or arms can be right behind you, with forehead on the mat. And just start to settle your breath. Just notice where it's landing. And we'll begin to shift into traditional Ujjayi breath. And we'll place our hands on the mat and we'll come up into some gentle heart openers, some gentle chest openers. So nice cat-cow pose. So we're going to breathe in and flex the spine like this on cow, and then breathe out in cat pose, like a nice Halloween cat here. And feel free to take whatever stretches serve you best to get started. And just as a reminder, your Ujjayi breath is in through your nose, pause at the top, close gently the curve of the back of your throat, so the aperture of your throat where it goes down into your trachea. So you make like an audible sound coming back out through your nose on the way out. So an ocean wave sound. So for example, all right, you got it. All right, so let's continue taking our cat and cows. Beautiful. All right, and let's come into our high plank here, Kumbhakasana. Step back into your Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog, and take a few steps towards the front of your mat. Come all the way up, and you'll land in your Uttanasana or forward fold, and just let everything go here. Notice the thoughts, see them, notice you're separate from them. And let go of the thoughts that are no longer serving you. Let them drop out of the top of your head. Beautiful. Ardha Uttanasana, so halfway lift. In breath and down. Uttanasana, out breath. On your next inhale, come all the way to Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful. So Tadasana or mountain pose actually is a heart opener. So you can notice that you're kind of opening your chest here. Ooh, really big. All right. So, and we'll take a Katyasana on either side here. So a nice side stretch. So I'll face towards you. Katyasana on your out breath. Inhale to the top and exhale. Inhale to the top. Exhale. Inhale to the top. Exhale. Come back in your Tadasana or mountain pose. We're going to stand tall on your mat. You're going to be towards the front of your mat. We're gonna come down, Uttanasana, forward fold. And then your next inhale, we're gonna come up into chair pose, Utkatasana. Hold this for a few breaths here. And fold forward, Uttanasana. Place your hands on the mat and flow through your Chaturanga Dandasana, so your high plank to your low plank. And here's a variation. You can bring your elbows behind you and come down like this with your up dog, with your legs risen in your up dog. Or you can come into your Chaturanga, so you're in high plank. You're gonna bring your knees down. You're gonna do like a diving motion through your hands. And then you come into your up dog. Okay, so take either one and then step back into your downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. We're gonna rise into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. We'll attempt to face our hips forward here on our mat. Remembering to ground down through the hips. Feel the support from the earth below, and then rise up through the torso, through your bandhas here in your belly that are supporting you, supporting your spine. Virabhadrasana 2. We're going to take a heart opener here. We're going to actually come into Parsvakonasana. So we're going to lean forward here. A nice variation here is to bring a block right here to bring the earth closer to you. And you can push out right here on your knee and open up real nice and wide and open that chest. Open your heart. Continuing your Ujjayi breath. Beautiful. Coming back into your Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Viparita Virabhadrasana, also a heart opener, Peaceful Warrior. Then flowing forward and flow through your Chaturanga Dandasana. Beautiful. Opposite leg forward into Virabhadrasana 1. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So hips actually will face the wall in front of you. And remember, ground down, root down to rise up. When you're ready, we'll shift forward into side angle pose, Parsvakonasana. Hook that elbow, and remember to bring a block closer, to bring the earth closer to you. And open that chest. With each breath, really feel that opening, that acceptance of loving energy, and that release on the exhale of old stale energy. And rise into your Virabhadrasana 2. Peaceful Warrior. Sail on down to your Chaturanga Dandasana. We'll meet in Upward Facing Dog. Oh, I meant down dog. Oh my goodness. Here in Downward Facing Dog, you can either step or hop your knees. And if you're hopping, you want to bring your knees parallel to the ground and go boop. You're going to land in your Uttanasana and then come halfway lift on your inhale. And down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, we're going to rise into chair pose, Utkatasana. A few breaths here today. And fold, Uttanasana. You can do this arm variation, or you can use a strap to open up your shoulders a little here. And bring your hands back down. On your next inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And down Uttanasana. And step, we'll do the opposite leg. So step that left foot back, right foot forward into your Virabhadrasana 1. Virabhadrasana 2, so hips will face the side wall here. And next we're going to actually straighten this front leg. We're going to come into Trikonasana because it's a beautiful heart opening pose, as well as your throat. So feel free to have a block close to you to bring the earth closer to you if necessary, okay? All right, so we're gonna straighten this front leg. We're gonna make our legs really long on our mat. Oh, I gotta take a breath here. And then you're gonna place your arms out like a T, and you're gonna almost tip forward like you're a teapot. All right, so remember the strength of your core supporting your spine, and then we're gonna tip forward like a teapot here. All right. And on each exhale, really opening your chest. And again, just being open to receive. And also being aware of your own authentic energy and sending that love. And recalling to not self-abandon, to not reject yourself, to just be there for you and love yourself. Beautiful. And let's come forward. Let's come into our Prasarita Padottanasana. So it's going to be the wide leg forward fold, okay? So I'll face you guys. All right, so wide leg forward fold. We'll come straight down, right bend from your hips here, okay? Beautiful. We're gonna do a nice heart opening twist here. So we're gonna revolve this or pravrita this. So I like to take a block to bring the earth closer to me, right in front of me. And we'll place our hands right in the center of us, and we'll place the right one down first, and we'll twist open to the left. And again, on each exhale, opening the chest up farther. And if bending the upper arm helps open the chest, so be it. And coming back down to center, taking your breath, and then we'll take this on the opposite side. Coming back down to center. And we'll flow into our Virabhadrasana 1 then on the opposite leg. So we'll just shift over. So whichever leg you didn't do before, we'll shift on into that side. I believe it should be left foot forward this time. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And now we're gonna come into Trikonasana, so triangle. So again, we're going to keep our legs really long on our mat. And we're going to straighten this front leg. We're gonna remember that we're rooting down to rise up. So our legs are supporting us, the earth is supporting us, and our torso is supporting us up here to rise up. Almost as if there was like a string attached to our head pulling us up nice and straight. All right. Arms in a T. Relax those shoulders. Tip forward like you're a teapot. Trikonasana. Opening that chest. Beautiful. Both hands down. We're going to flow through our Chaturanga Dandasana. We'll meet up in our downward facing dog. Beautiful. All right, so let's walk our feet to our hands or hop. Halfway lift, down on your exhale. Let's step our right foot back, and we're gonna place this down here right on the mat. If you would like, I like to roll my mat here or place a blanket under the knee. You don't have to be down on your knee for this. We're going into Anjaneyasana, so a lunge. You can be up just like this, okay? So just like a crescent lunge. But an option here in Anjaneyasana is to keep the knee down. If the knee is down, you can move the knee over this foot. But if the knee is up, please keep this at a nice 90-degree angle. Oh goodness. So you respect your knee here, okay? So we're here in Anjaneyasana. Once you settle in, this is a beautiful heart opener here. So I like to be down, but taking your hands up and opening the chest here. Beautiful. Bringing this leg back up into Uttanasana. Halfway lift on your inhale and down. And let's do this on the opposite side. So bringing our back knee, our left leg back this time, coming into our Anjaneyasana. So in your own time, rising your gaze, lifting your arms, opening your chest. Opening your throat area. You are love, you speak love, you give love, you receive love. And then placing our hands back down on the mat and stepping up into our Uttanasana forward fold. Taking a few breaths here. And coming all the way to stand. Into Tadasana, full body stretch. Return to your Tadasana here. So you can stay facing the long way on your mat. I'm going to face forward just for the sake of this video. We'll come into a few standing postures here. So I'm thinking of all my favorites. So let's come into Natarajasana or dancer pose. And actually we'll stay on my mat for this because I want the nice tackiness of the mat. So we're going to find our drishti. We're going to find our focus point. Just like in our mind, I always say we always have the chatter and, you know, the racing thoughts in our mind. Not always, but I know they can come up during the day, right? So just like that. And then when you go into a meditation, right, the thoughts start to dissipate. So just like this, we see so much in our environment, but we're going to bring it down to one focus point, just one point. Because honestly, sometimes all that other crap doesn't matter, right? And then we find we really just needed to see that one thing in our mind. So same with this, same with the drishti point. Find one point and focus on it and keep your gaze there, and that will help you with the balance. All right, so we'll start to shift our weight and our trust into our left foot. We'll start to bring our right foot up behind us, and we'll grasp the toes. I like to grasp the top of the foot in my right hand. We'll start to bring our left hand forward. I like to stay in this mudra here with my index and my thumb connected, but you can have your hand anyway. And we'll start to tip forward like that teapot into Natarajasana or dancer pose. So this is a beautiful heart opener and chest and throat, as you can see. We're really like opening up the chest, trying to connect to loving energy. If you fall out here, come right back in. Dancers dance, they don't stand still, right? And then once you feel complete in that side, bringing that leg down, we'll come back in the opposite leg. So now we'll shift our weight and our trust into our right foot. Find your drishti point. We'll pick up that left in our left hand, and we'll start to tip forward like that teapot. Ooh, nice. Awesome sauce. Yeah, if you fall out, come right back in. All right, shake that one out. We're gonna do something really fun with this, okay? It's a beautiful heart opener. So I just wanna have my blocks ready here because we're gonna come into Ardha Chandrasana or half moon from dancer pose. So we're gonna have a little fun today, okay? All right. So I have my blocks ready here. So we'll come back on that same side. Should we just come in? So different sides. So we'll again go back to our left now. So put our weight and our trust in our left. Come back to your Ujjayi breath. Feel that groundedness, that support, safety in this leg. Grasp the right foot again. Start to tip forward like a teapot. Come into dancer. And you can either hold the ground or your block directly in front of your left leg. We're going to start to open this up with the bind into Ardha Chandrasana with a bind. And you're going to be looking at your side wall here. If you want to, you can let go of the bind and stay right here. Big heart opener here, guys. Beautiful. Let this one go. Come back to stand. Shake it out. All right, let's take this on the opposite side. I just want to get my blocks like in the right place. Okay. So start to place our trust in that right foot. Feel that support, the groundedness. Lift up the left. When you feel supported, you can tilt forward. Come into your dancer first. I was like getting really focused on my block. Dancer first, then Ardha Chandrasana, then half moon. Oh goodness gracious. If you fall, good. It's okay. It's okay to fall. It's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn. Mistakes aren't even mistakes, right? Like, they help us grow. They help us learn. They help us love ourselves even deeper. Right? Exactly. And they help us see how strong we are. So, coming back down out of that Ardha Chandrasana, flow through Chaturanga Dandasana. We'll meet up in downward facing dog. Beautiful. So land here, really stretch this one out. Take what you need here. And we're gonna wind up bringing our knees down to the ground first and finding ourselves in a seat with our legs forward here on the mat. Here I think, well, you know what? Actually, never mind. We're gonna actually come right down to our mat and to our backs. It is nice though here to have a block, and I'll take you through the variations. We're gonna come into Setu Bandhasana or bridge. I was gonna do something else, but I changed my mind, guys, and that is all good. Okay, so bridge pose here. We're gonna be on our back. Our feet are connected with the earth. We have our block. So I'll tell you the variations first. So one variation is a supported bridge pose. You can have your block at any length. You want to put it on your sacrum, so that's the bone like right between just the very top of your buttocks. So you could be here in bridge. Bridge is a heart opener, and the main function of this pose is to have your chest really open and surrendered to, you know, universal source energy here. To be accepting of everything in your life. So if this is the variation for you, then definitely take it. The next variation is when you use your buttock strength to kind of lift and support that area as if the block was there. So you lift just like this. All right, so those are really the two variations of bridge pose. So let's take one of those right now. On your next inhale, we'll come into bridge. And just hold this here for 5 breaths. Guys, it was literally a count of 5. I think I lost count. So come on down. Oh my goodness. You gotta laugh at yourself sometimes. All right, that was a beautiful bridge pose. So now we'll come into, you can either take another bridge or you can come into full wheel or our Urdhva Dhanurasana here. Alrighty. So if you're coming into wheel, what you want to do is place your hands, oh my goodness, my braids. Your hands are going to be directly below your shoulders here. And your feet, you want to kind of get them tucked up kind of right where your buttocks kind of meet right here if your feet are flat on the floor. On a big inhale is when you're going to push up. Okay, all heart openers, you move into it on an inhale. All right, so your next big inhale, push yourself up. And the main focus here is to get that heart open. So the legs can be long here and just push back and open the heart. Breathing fully. And bring this one back down nice and slow. If you're in bridge, you always want to tuck your neck. You always want to tuck your head under so that you don't hurt your neck before you come right down. All right, well, that was beautiful, guys. Let's take one more of those before we end. So either coming into supported bridge, typical bridge that's unsupported, or your full wheel. All right, so your next inhale. And bringing this one back down to the mat. Oh my goodness, you can come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So your soles of your feet are going to be together here. Take a nice gentle hip opener here. Beautiful. All right, you can bring yourself up to a seat here, taking whatever transition poses you would like. So let's come to a Virasana seat here. So Virasana or hero's pose is when your just legs are bent here. I really like to lift my hips a little bit, so having a block right under my hips is super, super helpful. And we'll just take a few breaths here just to come back to the space after all that beautiful work you just did. Beautiful. And rising to your knees, it's really nice here to have a blanket under your knees or bring the mat right under your knees for some double protection here. We're going to come into Ustrasana or camel pose. So in camel pose, again, there's multiple variations. We want to keep our knees right in line. And we'll place our, this part of our fist right here between our knuckles and our, what am I trying to say? Like our proximal interphalangeal joint here. We want that kind of right at where our sacrum kind of meets our lumbar spine here. So kind of right at the top of your buttocks on either side. And you want to push and you want to ground down like as if this was the earth right here in your back. You want to ground down right here and slowly kind of let your back go. When you feel safe here, you can also let your neck fall back. When you feel safe, don't let it just drop back. Let it slowly and supportedly kind of reach back, if you will, so to open the throat. Okay, and only do that if you feel safe and supported. So this is a variation, just being right here is a variation of camel, is of Ustrasana. So literally right here, your gaze is up, your heart is open. All right. If you feel safe, you can push back, ground down into your back, come back, hands down. Remember to breathe. Remember I said moving into back bend, so you always want to take an inhale. And here you want to push your hips forward. To exit this pose, just like you saw me do this, you want to place your hands again right on your low back here. You want to ground down in and use that support to bring yourself forward. So we're going to come back down now. We're going to sit in our Virasana pose again.
Beautiful. All right, unfolding your mat, bringing yourself all the way down to your mat on your belly, okay? So just slowly lowering and just resting a cheek on one side of your mat. You can move the other cheek to the other side. Just coming back to your breath and your body. And we're going to do some heart openers here on the ground. So bringing our hands right under our shoulders. On an inhale, we'll come up into baby cobra or baby bhujangasana, okay? So we're going to keep our cervical spine in line with our thoracic spine. These muscles are working, these muscles are working, these muscles are working right here, okay? And on your exhale, come down. Now we're going to place our elbows directly under our shoulders, and we're going to rise up into Sphinx pose or Purushamasana. So here, these muscles are working, these muscles are working, and you want to keep your cervical spine, again, in line with your thoracic spine. And if you notice here, your heart is beautifully shining forward. On your next exhale, we can come back down to the mat, and we'll place our arms right behind us, actually. And on your next inhale, we'll come up into Dhanurasana or bow pose. Actually, we'll come up into lotus first, or locust. So actually, Shalabhasana. Oh my goodness, I forgot. So let's definitely do that first. So we're gonna lift our arms and our legs on an inhale. I love this one. Again, keeping that cervical spine in line. And just feeling your breath like move your entire body. On an exhale, coming back down to the earth. Switching cheeks, coming back to breath, feeling the work and the strength of your back muscles, supporting your chest. Now we'll come into Dhanurasana. I really got ahead of myself there, man. So now on our inhale, we're going to reach back and rock forward in bow, just with our breath. You don't typically rock. I rock a lot, but just watch how your breath moves you. And coming back down on an exhale. And windshield wipering your legs from side to side. Feel all the energy that you've created in your body, the warmth, the power. Beautiful. And here we'll push ourselves back up and we'll flow through our Chaturanga Dandasana. So we'll be in our high plank. And we'll flow through. Meet up in downward facing dog. Beautiful. When you're here, you can situate yourself so you come to a seat on the mat. And to finish up today, we're going to take some beautiful, gentle stretches. We're going to start with Pravrita Janu Shashasana. So we're going to revolve our typical head of the knee pose so that it becomes a heart opener. All right. So first we will bring one leg out. So I chose my right leg. You can choose whichever leg. We're gonna kind of face our hips towards that leg. We're gonna hold our spine in integrity here. Feeling the support of our bandhas here in our belly, our muscle group, our Uddiyana Bandha right down below the belly button, the support and connection from the earth below us. We're gonna place the hand that's closest to the extended leg on the outside edge of the leg. And then the hand that's farthest away from the extended leg,
we're going to attempt to reach that kind of over, almost reaching for our hand of our right hand, so the hand closest, almost reaching for that hand in attempt to open the chest. So we're kind of reaching almost behind us. This is a huge side body chest opener. Beautiful. Taking a few breaths there and then coming back to center. We'll take our opposite leg out, opposite arm. So arm closest to the extended leg, we're going to take on the outside edge of that leg. And then the other arm, we're going to almost reach over and just go wherever you land. This is a challenging one. But you should feel that nice heart opener here, this like side body opener, and then attempt to like revolve the chest with each exhale. Coming back to center. Beautiful. All right, now that we're here, find yourself in a comfortable seated position. It wouldn't be a heart chakra and throat chakra practice if I didn't do a classic pranayama breath technique. And now I'll teach Kapalabhati. So Kapalabhati is otherwise known as the breath of fire. It's a very energetic breath. It's actually more associated with the solar plexus chakra, because the solar plexus, has lots of our personal power, our personal energy, overcoming inertia. But of course, it can help us move through any of the chakras. So especially, with the heart chakra and the throat chakra, those chakras teaching us that it is important to honor ourselves and love ourselves and shine our own authentic energy and speak our truth. So coming back to this will help kind of like ignite that fire of power to help us stand in our truth in our lives. So how Kapalabhati starts is you take a nice inhale, and then it's very like a short exhale. So I like to start when I was a beginner to put my hand like right in front of my nose to feel my out breath. So it's a short out breath, just almost like a quarter of the out breath, just like that. Okay, so it's an inhale ujjayi through the nose, like a good diaphragmatic breath into the belly, and then a short exhale. And then the next inhale should be a natural inhale. It shouldn't be like that. We're not hyperventilating here. It should just be a natural inhale because you exhaled so hard, so your body naturally wants to inhale. Okay, so kind of like that. And you'll feel your belly if you're, when you get into the diaphragmatic breathing, when you settle your breath and you get to move your breath down into your belly. That's the proper way to start Kapalabhati. You'll feel your belly moving in and out. So it is kind of nice to place one hand in front of your nose, one hand on your belly to make sure that you're kind of using the correct technique here. And you can go at any pace that serves you best. Even going slower than this is completely fine. Whatever pace works for you. So if that works for you, that's fantastic. So round of Kapalabhati, I would typically do like 30 or to 50 of those. And then I would come back into just a few natural breaths or some just normal ujjayi breaths. And then I would come back and I would do probably 4 or maybe 4-ish or 3 more of those rounds. And that really helps get like your inner fire started, your spark of life, your energy moving forward, and helps you shine your authentic truth. So that is Kapalabhati. It was taught to me that you should not be doing Kapalabhati if you are in definitely the late stages of pregnancy. So I'm assuming like your 2nd and 3rd trimester, I would definitely not do that, and I don't recommend that. And I think it's because, your belly is quite enlarged at that point, so I would not be like super, making a very like diaphragmatic breath. And also people who have uncontrolled high blood pressure. So this is not the breath for you if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure. And that might be a reason for pregnancy as well, but not sure. So that's not the breath for you. But yeah, so feel free to move into a few rounds of Ujjayi here. Or you can simply come into your Shavasana here. So first we'll start off, before we jump into Shavasana, we can come into our waterfall pose or Viparita Karani. You can move to a wall in your home and simply put your legs up the wall. Or you can lay down and put a block at your sacral region. For waterfall, and just be here, come back to your natural breaths. Stay here for a few breaths, and then you can start to bring your feet down to the earth, lift the block from below you, and come into your Shavasana. Feel the beautiful work that you've done today, opening your throat and your chest. The practice, receiving love, knowing that you are deserving of love, of your own love. You are meant to be here. And for the sake of this video, I will end my Shavasana early, but feel free to continue in your Shavasana today for as long as you would like. But I'll leave you here and I'll see you next time. The light in me honors and sees the light in all of you. Namaste. Take care. I hope you enjoyed.